Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Respectfully pay homage to the Buddha, the Honored One, the Worthy One, the Exalted One, the fully awakened or enlightened One. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dhammaya, Namo Sanghaya. Buddham saranam gacchami, dutiyambi Buddham saranam gacchami, tatiyambi Buddham saranam gacchami. Dhammang saranam gacchami, dutiyambi Dhammang saranam gacchami, tatiyambi Dhammang saranam gacchami. Sangham saranam gacchami, dutiyambi Sangham saranam gacchami, tatiyambi Sangham saranam gacchami. For refuge, I go to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha for the first time, the second time, and the last time. Dear Dharma sister and brother, today is May 8, 2021. We are at Pháp Nhãn Temple on Zoom Buddhist study. Furthermore, we would like to pay homage to the Buddha, the wonderful Dharma of the Buddha, and the harmonious Sangha. Today we keep learning, discover on teaching the historical Buddha, part 4, general introduction on the 73rd day linking winter retreat. Right now, I would like to invite the whole Sangha to listen to the sound of bell. After that, I would like to invite Brother Minh Đạo, who have duty to guide meditation today. Namo Buddhaya. Yes, now please.
Now let's find a comfortable sitting position. Be sure to make sure the back and the neck are aligned, and that the belly goes in and out as we breathe. Deep, deep breaths in and out. Breathing in. I know I am breathing in. Breathing out. I know I am breathing out. In and out. Breathing in. I know I am alive and sitting here. Breathing out. I know I am alive and sitting here, practicing meditation with my Dharma sisters and brothers. In and out. Breathing in deeply. I know I am breathing in deeply. Breathing out slowly. I know I am breathing out slowly. In and out. Calming bodily action, I am breathing in. Calming bodily action, I am breathing out. In and out. Calming mental action, I am breathing in. Calming mental action, I am breathing out. In and out. verbal action. I am breathing in. Calming verbal action. I am breathing out. In and out. Feeling the whole body, I am breathing in. Feeling the whole body, I am breathing out. In and out. Feeling the whole mind, I am breathing in. Feeling the whole mind, I am breathing out. In and out. Being aware of the whole body, I am breathing in. Being aware of the whole body, I am breathing out. In and out. Being aware of the whole mind, I am breathing in. Being aware of the whole mind, I am breathing out. In and out. Breathing in, I know I am practicing meditation for myself, for my parents, sisters, brothers, and all of my children. Breathing out, I know I would like to invite my parents, sisters, brothers, and my children to practice meditation and learn the Dharma with me. In and out. Breathing in, I know I am charging my spiritual battery. Breathing out, I know my spiritual battery gets fuller and fuller. In and out. Breathing in, I know I am practicing the method of watering flowers. Breathing out, I know the flowers in me get fresher and fresher. In and out. Breathing in, I know every day I forget to charge my spiritual battery. My spiritual battery will become weaker and weaker. Breathing out, I know every day I forget to water my flowers. The flowers in me will become more and more withered. In and out. Breathing in, I know every breath is life. Breathing out, I know every practice is calm and relaxed. In and out. Breathing in, I know every day my life is shorter and shorter. Breathing out, I know every day my health is weaker and weaker. In and out. Breathing in, I know I am making use of the rest of my life to practice the Buddha Dharma more and more diligently. Breathing out, I know I am making use of the rest of my health to apply the Buddha Dharma in my daily life to benefit myself and other people right here and right now in the present life. In and out. Breathing in, I can't contemplate that all living things and living beings on earth are changing and impermanent. Breathing out, I contemplate they are all arising and ceasing continuously and never stopping. In and out. Breathing in, I feel well and healthy. Breathing out, I feel calm and peaceful, well, healthy, calm, and peaceful. In and out. I invite the Sangha to slowly open your eyes, to smile together, put your hands together, and bow together. Now I also invite the Sangha to drink tea together as well.
Thank you, Brother Minh Đạo, to guide meditation today very smoothly, happy. The more guide meditation, the more you become smoothly, become smooth. Yes, today we have two novice, two novice monk.
These little pictures, I have to try so hard not to giggle every time I see them.
Okay.
They're so cute. They look directly into my soul.
Good. When you say something right, correct, and the Dharma will in motion, working. I will send this picture to you. First, today we keep learning English, but translate Vietnamese, and then for those who didn't understand English, they understand Vietnamese. And then when we have Dharma discussion, only English, right? Yes. The main season that lets the Prince Siddhartha to leave the royal palace for monastic life to search for the Dharma. Những cái nguyên nhân chính đưa tới khiến cho thái tử từ giả cái đời sống hoàng gia và sống cái đời sống xuất gia đó, để tìm cầu chân lý là những cái lý do gì? Chúng ta sẽ học. After visiting the four gates of the royal palace with his attendant Channa, the bringer saw four real saints outside. Saints outside. Those are the saints of agent. First agent, second signet, and third that, and the last one monastic person. Sau khi mà viếng thăm 4 cái cửa thành đó, với cái người với cái người thị giả đó, tên là Channa, là sa nặc, thì thái tử thấy 4 cái cảnh tượng thật ở bên ngoài, outside. Đó là cái cảnh tượng là già nha, già, bệnh, chết. Tức là cảnh tượng đó là người già, người bệnh, người chết và cái người vị tu sĩ. Agent, we can say agent person, sick person, dead person, and a monastic person. And number 4. Now you can see here. This is more clearly for you to got it. See here. After visiting, this is repeat. After visiting the four gates of the royal palace with his attendant Channa, you see here, Channa here. You see, clear? Yes. And the prince saw 4 real saints outside. Those were the saints of agent person, old person, ancient person. Here you see the first number 1 here. Sixth person here. Sixth person here. You see? And dead person here. Is clear? A dead person. And the last one, the monastic person here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very clear, right? One picture can describe 1,000 words. Yes. Sau khi mà viếng thăm 4 cái cửa thành đó với cái người thị giả là tên là Channa, tức là Sa Nặc, thì thái tử thấy rõ 4 cái cảnh tượng bên ngoài. Đó là cái cảnh tượng người già, người bệnh, người già, người bệnh, người chết và cái người tu sĩ. Thì đây. Now this more particularly at the Eastern gate. At the Eastern gate, he met an old person. This is one, right? Second, at the Southern gate, he met a sick person. Number 2, this one. At the Western gate, he met the dead person. Number 3. And number 4, at the Northern gate, he met a monastic person. This is number 4. We just saw the picture. 4, you see, it's Eastern, Southern, Western, and Northern. Old person, sick person, dead person, and monastic person. This is 4 gates. Yes. Now it's one more clear for us. At the Eastern gate, he met an old person. Now an old person here. This part, you see, look like it's like hello. You see, the circle, the line of the circle of the Prince Siddhartha. And number 2, the southern gate, he met a sick person. Yeah, number 2, sick person. Very clear. Number 3, at the western gate, he met a dead person. The person who passed away, who died. And then the last one, at the northern gate, he met a monastic person. Yeah, number 4. You see? And if the text come, they say the eastern, the southern, the western, and the northern gate. And what did the Prince Siddhartha see? You choose A, B, C, D, and we should we should choose correctly. Eastern, first eastern gate, southern gate, east, south, west, and north. This is a cycle. Như vậy chúng ta thấy là ở hướng đông á, thì nó có nghĩa là đông, nam, tây, bắc. East, south, west, and north. This is the cycle of clock. Thì thấy người già, người bệnh, người già trước, rồi sau người bệnh, rồi sau đấy người chết, già, bệnh, chết và tới cái người tu sĩ. Here the last one, the last one is the monastic person. After experiencing these 4 senses, the prince asked Suddhōdana, his father king, to permit him to live at the royal palace for monastic life. But his father king didn't agree. At the time, the prince asked his father king to answer 4 things for the prince to be clear. Clearly, the prince didn't become a monastic person. What are they? What are for? What for? 14 words. You see? Sau khi mà trải nghiệm 4 cái cảnh tượng thật đó, for real sense, thì thái tử thỉnh cầu vua Tinh Phạn tên là vua phụ vương đó, tên là Suddhōdana, his father king, cho phép thái tử để đi tu, hay là từ giả cái đời sống, từ giả hoàng cung và để sống cái đời sống xuất gia, tức là đi tu đó. Nhưng mà cho nên nhớ cụm từ đi tu là let the royal, hay là let the secular life for monastic life, là đi tu. Nhưng mà phụ vương á không có đồng ý. Thì lúc bấy giờ đó thái tử thỉnh cầu vua cha trả lời 4 cái câu hỏi, trả lời 4 câu hỏi cho thái tử, mà nếu mà trả lời rõ ràng đó thì thái tử sẽ không trở thành người xuất gia. 4 đó là gì? Now before we will discuss 14, we will discuss for real sense first. Dear Dharma sister and brother, before we discuss 14 with Prince Siddhartha asked his father king, and we discuss for real thing first, for real sense first. You see, live royal palace a long time. A lot of time, the Prince Siddhartha would like to visit for real sense out of the royal palace. All the time, the first thing, or the first real thing he make at the eastern gate, he make old person first, and second at the southern gate he make the sick person, and the third at the western gate he make the dead person, and at the northern gate he make the monastic person. For real sin, what we real sin, and you see the first, the second, and the third. This the real thing will happen to anyone, to everyone, to all people. This is the real, not unreal. This is a real. When the people was born, grow up, become sick, and become dead. This is the real thing, the real, not the Buddha was born, and the Buddha appear in this world. The Buddha mentioned this, but this birth, sickness, aging, and death. This is the real. Nobody avoid. You see, and the Buddha had a duty to remind those things for us. This birth is the real. Nobody avoid. And the last one, the last real thing, the real sense, monastic person aspire the Buddha, the Prince Siddhartha, who would become, would let the bronze palace for monastic life. It's the last sense, the real sense, the number 4. This is emphasize. This is the inspiration for the Prince Siddhartha to let the royal family, royal palace for his monastic life. It's very important for Siddhartha Gautama. You see, the last sense and the monastic monk, monastic person. Other time no monk, but the monastic person. This remind him or emphasize Prince Siddhartha to become to leave royal family for monastic life. It's very important, this picture. Without monastic, without the fourth real sense, and maybe Siddhartha didn't become a novice. Didn't left the royal palace for monastic life. Somebody tell us the number 4 picture number 4. This is maybe God Sahambati, Braham Sahambati appear when the Siddhartha and his attendant Channa visit around the royal palace, outside royal palace all the time. Sahambati appear. You see, appear another time, and he become he appear to become the novice, the monastic person all the time. This picture emphasize the Siddhartha mind, and then later on he left secular life for monastic life. The picture number 4 very important for Siddhartha to go to become a novice and monastic person. Who do it? Who did it? Brahma Sahambati. The heaven, you see, the king, the heaven king, in the heaven God, the king of God in the heaven all the time appear and practice to become this person, and this picture, this sense emphasize and bring Siddhartha later on. Bring Siddhartha will live secular life for monastic life. So we study here, and we know which picture, first, second, and third, and the fourth, which one emphasize bring Siddhartha for bring Siddhartha, and we can choose number 4. Without picture number 4, you see, and maybe bring the Siddhartha maybe didn't left royal family. So this picture, somebody, some professor say this Sahambati, Brahman, Sahambati, the king of heaven God, appear and remind, bring Siddhartha. Now you have the seat of Bodhi, the seat of enlightenment to become a novice monk. Now, when you see more and more other time, some idea, some detail can emphasize, remind your bring Siddhartha mind. Yeah, so this is very important. Now we discussed the real thing first, the 4 senses first, and then later after that, and we keep learning. Now I would like to invite my brother and sister to say about it. That person, 4 senses. Now brother Minh Đạo.
I had a question.
Yes.
When Prince Siddhartha, whenever he left, so like finally exited the royal palace, did he end up leaving through the northern gate?
Eastern gate. Good.
Eastern gate. Oh, okay.
Good idea.
I was wondering. I was like, well, if the northern gate was the monastic gate, I wonder if that was the same one he left out of. But okay, so he left out of the gate of old age. So okay.
When we have the time, good time to a new future, where if we have good time, another time we will visit for holy places of Buddhism in India, And then we will go to Kapilavatthu, where the Buddha was born and grew up, Kapilavatthu. And then other time we can go to the eastern gate, where the Prince Siddhartha Gautama led bronze palette for monastic life. Yes, good idea. Yes.
Oh, other than that, the only other thought that I had was, it's interesting that, you know, he was, Siddhartha was sheltered from, I mean, his dad, Suddhōdana, must have tried he must have gone through great lengths to shield him from, like, aging, because you got to think, he didn't leave until, what, late 20s, 30 or something like that when he left the palace. So, you know, it's kind of interesting that they must have fired any of the, you know, housekeepers or courtesans that started getting gray hair or wrinkles. He must have got rid of them so that he wouldn't have noticed. Or if someone came down with like a seasonal flu or allergies, he must have sent them home for the day before Siddhartha could have ever seen it. He must have gone through great lengths to make it to where his son would have never experienced, you know, aging, sickness, and death. And I think, you know, that must have, not seeing any of those things, or at least not understanding them, finally witnessing them in such a short time, must have been a huge triggering point for his brain. And it's interesting when you mentioned that the king of the gods, Brahma, how do you say the?
Sahambati.
Samati?
Yes, Brahma Sahambati.
Brahma Sahamati. How he kind of transformed himself into a monastic to plant that seed of the Dharma. The interesting thing is, I think a normal person, you know, we're so used to seeing old age, sickness, and death. We encounter old age because we see our parents and our grandparents aging. We encounter sickness because at some point in our life we become sick, if not, you know, regularly. And then at some point we encounter death because, I mean, life is dangerous. You know, it happens all the time. But Siddhartha, being someone who went years and years, decades without seeing it, I think a normal person would have broken a normal person. So you think, okay, this would have been the perfect opportunity for a being. You know, he was special. You know, he was born out of great merit and out of the vow of a bodhisattva. So he had that seed kind of already spiritually, but then to kind of further push the point, you know, at this moment, Brahma Sahamati,
yes,
you know, showed him, okay, now these are things that are going to be very impactful. I mean, he talked about how impactful the Buddha was. Like, these things really tore at him, you know, witnessing that there's nothing we can do about these things. You know, there's nothing you can do to keep people from getting old. There's really nothing you can do to keep people from getting sick. And there's really nothing you can do to keep people from dying. But he was given an option. The monastic life is the life that teaches us the value, or at least it gives us, it gives purpose from these things that we can't change. You know, this impermanent nature of age, this impermanent nature of health, and the impermanent nature of life itself. You know, the monastic is someone who views these things and uses these things as tools to reach awakening and enlightenment. And I think for us, you know, for Siddhartha, he obtained enlightenment, you know, after several years, but for many of us, it takes lifetimes. Many, you know, once we become stream enterers, it takes a minimum of, 7 lifetimes to finally get the fruits of enlightenment. But he did it in 7 years, you know. But for us, it still means that if we can find a way to find to transform these things. That, aging is impermanent, so don't attach to aging. Your health is impermanent, don't attach to that. Even your own life is impermanent, don't attach to that, don't attach to death. And in this lifetime, you can start to cultivate the seeds of enlightenment, just how the Buddha flourished those seeds of enlightenment in his lifetime. So, and then the gate, I know the gates probably have something to do with it too, but I can't think of anything.
But in my view, when I read the whole thing like that, I think this Brahma Sahamati, the king, the heaven king, the god of heaven king, the king of heaven god, you see, and he appear. In my view, he appear. Brahma Sahamati appear for sense, for real sense. Because Suddhōdana, Prince Siddhartha, Father King, so strong, so powerful. When the prince and with his attendant Channa visit for sense our royal palace, the royal palace, all the time they can repair anything smoothly. Decoration, very nothing is something new, something nice, beautiful. But I think this guy, this philosophy, because here when the king have a lot of Suddhōdana have a lot of power, and when his son brings Siddhartha visit somewhere, and they will decorate, anything become smooth, become beautiful. Nobody, because they have a lot of power, nobody, anybody sick person, dead person, ill person, and dead person can move far away from bring Siddhartha. But I think in this case, this philosophy, Brahma Sahamati appear, and for this person, for this old age, aged person, dead person, sick person, and monastic person. This I think Brahma Sahamati did it, in my view, because the king Suddhōdana brings Siddhartha, Father King, have a lot of power. What they do, they can do on. You see, but here in this case, why they decorate anything smooth, anything smooth, beautiful, nice. But in this case, see for sense, what happened? So in this case, I think Brahman Sahamati, the ghost of the king of heaven God, the ghost of heaven king, the king of heaven God, did it. For sense, remind emphasize, bring Siddhartha. This is the real thing. Because now this is outside, but if you go back, royal palace, you see, father will become old. Father will become old, and some person will become old. Some person will become sick, will become deaf. This remind for real sense, emphasize, bring Siddhartha mind. And then later on, he had question, he thinking about it, because he had the seek of enlightenment for becoming novice, monastic person. Later on, this is real. You see, I think that's Brahman Sahamati did it. So because if we, for example, if we are resident here, U.S. president, Vietnamese president, if when important big person, very important person go visit somewhere, but police, any people and decorate, protect, anything very safe, very beautiful. What they, anything they can do. But in this case, suddenly for real sense happened to them, to Siddhartha Gautama and attendant Channa and his this Lord Brahma Sahambati beer and did it. And now we know that's idea. Near future, you said the Dharma about history of the Buddha, and you know that thing, and you mention more and more. That's thing I already studied right now. It's a beer. It's remind me to say more and more deeply Dharma. I got it. I already studied it. Now I would like to invite Sister Diệu Thí. You have something to say about it?
Con cảm ơn thầy. You know something about the planning, the surrounding before the prince go out to visit the outside the gate, so outside the palace. So I think I heard about that. I heard it. Went in another class, and they said that the king is already arranged for. That everything is supposed to be perfect. No bad person, no poor person, or no nothing else, but really, really perfect for the prince to visit. But then in a second, like 4 sins appears. Just like that person, sickness, the person, and then old person, and then the novice, novice person too. So I think that there's a planning, and then to remind the prince, okay, this is how the life is going to be, and then if you choose this life, this is the 4 things going to happen. And then if you don't go to leave the secular life to the for the monastic life, this is you have to suffer, or something like that. So there's the planning for the prince to go out, to visit the people, and then at sudden, the King of Heaven, God, appears, and then change everything. So it's really powerful.
Yes, more detail, more support. Now, thank you, Sister Diệu Thí. Right now we keep learning. Now, what for? What are they? What were they? 14 words. Here, first. You see, before we study here, it's at the time, the prince asked his father king to answer 14, for the prince to be clear, or for the prince clearly. The prince didn't become monastic person. Now, what for? The 4 words. 1. How can you keep me forever young, not old? You see, first. Second, can you in this case, Suddhōdana, bring Siddhartha father king? You see. Second, how can you help me keep strong without pain, without suffering? You see, number 2. This is very important. Number 3, how can you help people live forever and not die? Number 3. And number 4, how can you help people be out of suffering? Number 4. So this is a real question. If we are the king, can we answer this? If we play a role in being a king, can you answer for a question? For this question? Maybe no. Sau khi mà Siddhartha Gautama đó yêu cầu thỉnh cầu xin xuất gia rồi đó, cuối cùng không có cho ngài đi xuất gia thì vua cha thái tử Tất Đạt Đa đó mới thỉnh cầu vua cha phụ vương 4 câu hỏi. Vua cha đồng ý liền. The first time the Suddhōdana agree. Yes, you believe you ask me for question. Bắt đầu thì câu hỏi thứ nhất là làm thế nào cha giữ cho con trẻ mãi không già. Keep me forever young, not old. Xin vua cha làm thế nào vua cha giữ cho con trẻ mãi không già. Và câu thứ hai xin vua cha giúp cho con mạnh hoài không có đâu. Keep strong, tức là keep or stay strong without pain, mạnh hoài không có đâu. Và câu thứ ba đó là làm thế nào cha giúp cho mọi người. Nãy là hai câu hỏi này là cho riêng Prince Siddhartha. First person, second person, this for Prince Siddhartha Gautama. But number 3 and number 4 for humankind, human being. How can làm thế nào giúp cho mọi người sống hoài không có chết, live forever, sống hoài không có chết. Và câu thứ tư thì làm thế nào vua cha giúp cho mọi người hết khổ đau. This is for question number 4. Now we discuss for question. After visiting the 4 senses out of the royal palace, and then Prince Siddhartha think again and again. This away ancient person, sick person, dead person, and monastic person. And then he think again and again because of number 1, 2, 3. It's the real thing. Everybody can become the same way, not different way. But the number 4 maybe a different way. If I choose that, maybe this more freedom, more freedom, and maybe Prince Siddhartha think again and again. Other time Prince Siddhartha regret his father king Suddhōdana. The father king say, I didn't allow you to become a monastic person. I didn't allow. Because why? Because you are only one son. Only my you are my only one son. You have duty to take care of the kingdom of Kapilavatthu. If you let nobody take care, I believe you, I support you. If you let the secular life for monastic life, who take care the kingdom? Who take care the kingdom of Kapilavatthu? And his father Suddhōdana, his father king didn't permit him to let home for monastic life. But Prince Siddhartha regret again and again, dear father king, I know it, but this is secular life, secular way. For me, spiritual life, spiritual way is better for me. For you, okay, for everybody, okay. But for me, secular way, this is normal. But spiritual or Dharma way, Dharma path is very important for me. Now, Daddy, Now please allow me to leave home for monastic life. Now again and again, his father didn't allow. And when request and answer again, and many times, and the last one, and bring Siddhartha 14 for question. Now, dear father, I have 4 questions. If you reply or you answer 4 questions, maybe I don't want to become a novice monk, a monastic monk. Oh, his father were very happy. Now I read. What are they? I read. I am a good professor, lawyer, attorney. I'm a king. You see, remember, anything I can resolve, anything very clearly is small thing for me. And then Prince Siddhartha, when his father agreed to answer 4 questions, and he asked the father 4 questions slowly, clearly, and emphasize. Number 1, dear father, first question for you. How can you keep me forever strong, forever young, not old? Oh, the king think about that question. Oh, not easy to answer. Maybe it's out of my hand. It's so difficult. You ask me this question, very difficult. How can I answer it? Not easy. But the first you make a promise me, and how you can answer any question. You are lawyer, you are attorney, you can resolve anything very clearly, because many people around you and sometimes have problem and ask you answer very clearly. But this question you say not clear for me, not easy for me to answer. Now this person, maybe I put my hand and I bow you. Second question, dear father, how can you keep me? How can you keep me live forever? Keep me strong, right? Keep me strong without pain. Keep strong. Help me keep strong without pain. Oh, second question, difficult too. First question not easy for me. Second question is not easy for me. Now I also put my hand together and bow you. Second, and now number 3. Question number 3. Dear father, how can you keep people live forever without death? Oh, you ask me some question not easy. Difficult. Any question difficult. Now this first time I meet some question like that. But river time, any question I can resolve very clear. But here not easy. Now also number 3, put his hand. I would like to put my hand and to pay homage to you. And number 4, the last question, Daddy. Yes, I'm here for you. What is it? Dear father, how can you keep people? Number 4, what? May I see it again? Yes, number 4. Yes. How can you help people be out of suffering? Be out of suffering. So question number 4. 4 questions we should learn. In Vietnamese I remember, but in English sometimes see it again. Dear Daddy, how can you help people be out of suffering. The daddy say, I apologize, my son, my loved son. You are a great person. You ask me for question not easy for me. Now maybe heaven or God can answer, but for me I put my hand together and bow to you. You see, for question like that, other time the king couldn't answer either one. And so this is very important because it's real thing, real lesson for himself, for bring Siddhartha 2 person, first person, second person, but for humankind, human being, 2 person more. The king couldn't answer anything, any at all. And that's why today we study here, we know here for Western, and we know here when Prince Siddhartha would like to become a novice monk, ask the request, ask the Father King, his Father King, who allow Prince Siddhartha to be to live monastic life for live secular life for monastic life. Other time the king didn't agree Prince Siddhartha. Now for Western, and this for very clear for you. Right now I would like to invite Dharma brother and sister to say this idea. Yes, brother Mandap. What
So,
do
as you
you
were
think?
talking about this, I was thinking about, because right after the Buddha had mentioned his intention to leave and become a monastic, his father, the king, became quite angry or very protective, that he was like, seal the gates, have all the guards watch and make sure that he doesn't leave. He kind of locked it down for Siddhartha, so that Siddhartha had to kind of, in the middle of the night, he had to kind of, and this was, I think, one of the reasons why, the king was like, find him a wife, because if he has a wife and a kid, then he won't leave. He'll be preoccupied with these things. And I think this speaks a lot to the psychology of the king, because here he is, he's given his son, like literally the entire world, or at least everything, because as a parent, we want our kids to have all the best opportunities, all the best education, the best health, the best doctors, the best nurses. We want everything the best for them, because that's what love does. Love makes us want to give the world to our children. And the king, he did that. He gave Siddhartha, a life of just endless pleasure and endless comfort. And, here he comes to his father, who in his father's mind, he has done everything right. He has given his child everything that a parent could possibly give to his son. And here is his son saying, listen, you can't keep me from growing old. No amount of money, no amount of power is going to do that. You can't keep me strong and to never feel pain. There's no amount of prestige or knowledge that will keep Siddhartha from feeling pain, from sickness. And he says, you can't keep people from dying. No, you can't buy, the Grim Reaper. You can't pay him off to keep him from taking someone away from life. And then the last thing, where he said, can you keep me from suffering? I think the key to this is, in Pali, suffering is dukkha. And it doesn't necessarily mean like how we think suffering, in the American mind at least, when we hear the word suffering, we think of like pain. We think, oh, you got cut on your arm, or a loved one, passed away, so you suffer. But it's more of like an unsatisfactoriness. It's not feeling content with the state of things. It's more of a deep suffering where life just doesn't have the ultimate flavor of fulfillment. And I think what he was putting across to his father was, you know, of all these things that you cannot deliver, he goes, how can you solve this inward unsatisfactory? So basically he's saying, he's putting the nail in the coffin in his father's efforts and saying, listen, you can continue to give me wealth, glory, power, prestige, and respect. But he's like, I will always feel, because I'm human, I will always feel this inward dissatisfaction with life. And I think that's the hard truth that would have hit his father. And then, of course, his father would have been like, well, he doesn't understand. He doesn't know where I'm coming from. You know, I've given him all these things because this is everything that a human can give to another human. So he says, oh, let's get him a wife, and then he'll understand. Once he has his own kid, he'll understand where I'm coming from. But he didn't grasp the key point, which is no matter what, the dukkha, the suffering, is always going to be there. You know, and this is where it kind of leads into the Four Noble Truths, whereas life is dukkha, life is suffering. And it's that way because we crave, because we want the wealth, the power, the health. We want all these things and we cling to them, and we don't want unpleasant things. We cling to the present, the pleasant, and we reject the unpleasant. He says this is what keeps us suffering. And the Buddha was just starting to see this as he witnessed, you know, old age, sickness, death, and then the monastic. He saw that, like, these were inescapable truths, that no matter who you are, where you are, how much power, anything, no matter what, you cannot escape this. And I think this is a good time you see kind of the, you know, Siddhartha's brain, kind of the wheels starting to turn, the Dharma wheels starting to turn in his brain, and then we can kind of see in the king, you know, his brain kind of breaking, where he's like, uh-oh, I need to really, really do something about this. My son's about to leave. So I think if this was a movie, this would be kind of that cliffhanger, that climax of the movie just before things really, really pick up. This is like the conflict point, the opposition point right here, you know, where it starts getting good.
As you know, dukkha, if we study dukkha 1 minute not enough. Dukkha opposite sukha. Sukha means happiness, blissfulness. Dukkha means suffering, pain, sorrow, sadness, impermanent, temperature. It's many meaning in one word. Dukkha has a lot of meaning. But when we say here, we can say suffering, impermanent, temperature, pain, sorrow, etc. Many things in the dukkha. When we translate, one word not enough. You see, another time we can say rid meaning, another time suffering. But in dukkha, many meaning inside. So for Western, very real. And if we play a role in being a king, maybe we couldn't answer, because we made promise with son, for example, the king make strong promise with his son, Prince Siddhartha. If you ask me, I can answer. Maybe you didn't. You reject. You didn't want to become a novice monk. You will become a king, the next king, who have duty to take care of the kingdom of Kapilavatthu. If I answer, if I cannot, I couldn't answer at a time for Western, real Western, but the father king couldn't answer at a time. The more he couldn't answer, the more he keep Prince Siddhartha safe and very carefully. He didn't want the prince to let a bronze palette for monastic life. And last time he keep very carefully. He asked somebody around him to who take care of Prince Siddhartha every moment. Now look after him, take care of him very carefully. Someone who didn't have a duty to take care of him, to look after him. Maybe I hit you, I beat you. And then, but this the Dharma way for the seed of enlightenment in Prince Siddhartha mind, open step by step. Later on, he let bronze palette for monastic life to become a monastic person. It's real thing. But what happened next? We will study. And what did the king do for Prince Siddhartha? We will study more and we know. Right now I would like to invite Sister Yuthi to have something to say here.
And the way the Buddha came up with the 4 questions, I think that is related to the scenes that he saw outside of the palace. When he just want to be sure with the father. Okay, if you don't let me go, what happened? How can you keep the person that you and I saw in the outside of the palace, that they're lying down there and died, and then they lying down there because they are sickness or something like that. There's nothing that is a real thing, And then that like Minh Đạo, he also talk about the wheel of Dharma turning, and I agree to that, because the Buddha, that life is not the first life that he returning to earth, but there's so many lives before, so that's why he said that this is my last life here, I'm not going to return here anymore, so that's why he's more determined, this is what I'm going to do, and this is what I'm going to find out, and then end of it, So he's very determined, and then that's why he's a Buddha. Nobody else like Buddha. He's so amazing, It's the person that's unbelievable, It's only one, nobody else but one.
So Sister Yuthi mentioned that I remember one thing. The Buddha said, in this world, only one Buddha. No two Buddha happen the same time. You see, in this world, only one Buddha. No second Buddha happen or appear the same time. So this Sister Yuthi mentioned this thing relate to another thing. Previous life, many previous life for Prince Siddhartha. But he say, Prince Siddhartha said, this is my last life. Only Buddha this. Nobody can do like him, do that thing like him. So that's why we always put our hand respect to the Buddha more and more. Today we are very happy to have the Sakyamuni Buddha like that, and we are happy. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dhammaya, Namo Sanghaya. We say, let me open this and maybe only 1 or 2 minutes we have finished. But I think Okay, this maybe for the next class. For the next class. For next class, in order to make a friend for God, his will to become a monastic person by what? By marrying the prince. Now this for next study. Okay. Today we only study two big things for guests, for visiting for the grand palace gates, and then for real Western, and now we know more. And now I would like to repeat for Western again. Dear Father, how can you keep me forever young, not old? First question. Second question, dear Father, how can you keep me keep strong, not pain, not weak, not strong? Second. And third, number 3, dear Father, how can you keep people live forever, not dead, not die? And number 4, dear Father, how can you help people be out of suffering, sorrow, pain, impermanent? And for Western, for real Western, to from Siddhartha Gautama to King Father King, to his Father King Suddhōdana, and the King always put his hand together. I would like to bow you now. And next class we will study how can Father King, his Father King, protect and prevent his will. We will study next day. Before we stop here, sharing the merit. May the merits of cultivation today be directed toward all living things and living beings. We and human beings can realize the Buddha way together. Sadhu, lành thay, well done, and excellent. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Sanghaya, Namo Dhammaya. Thank you so much for your attention and listening the Dharma talk today. May you be well, may you be happy, may you be peaceful, may you be healthy. May all living things and living beings on earth be well, happy, peaceful, and healthy, and be free from suffering, risk, anger, delusion, hatred, ignorance, violence, and coronavirus pandemic quickly and quickly and quickly. Yes, have a good night.